there, beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time watching my video, you are highly welcome to this channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much. I love you guys. So today, in 3 easy steps, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I made this fried beans and banana recipe. Let's get into it, guys. So you guys, these are the ingredients that we're going to use for today's fried beans recipe. Here I have some grinded pepper, scotch bonnet fresh pepper, and then the palm oil. I have some salt, some crayfish, and seasoning cubes. And I also have habanero peppers, those big kind of peppers that's usually not hot, just using it to add color. We also have some onion already sliced, and the beans itself. I'm using brown beans because that's what I have. You guys, you can use any type of beans you have. Any beans at all is fine. The white kind, local beans, any beans you want to use is just fine. And I already picked out the chaff, so yeah, make sure to do that. And yeah, that's it. Let's get right into the recipe. The first step in cooking these beans is to parboil the beans first of all, to get rid of some of the chemicals. And to do that, we're going to just set a pot on fire and wash the beans into the pot on fire. I'm using my rice cooker, which is a very popular device here in China that you can just use to boil maybe rice or beans. And the advantage is just that it doesn't get burnt. The moment the water is dried up from what you're cooking, it automatically turns off. But it's totally fine, you guys. You can use your stove, your gas, your electric stove, whatever you're using to cook, it's the same. Okay, so yeah, just wash the beans and wash it into the pot that you have on fire. So that's what I'm doing right about now. Now the beans has been boiling for about 20 minutes, and we're just going to pour out this water and sort of rinse the beans and continue cooking. Yeah. Simply set a strainer in the sink and strain the beans, and yeah, put some water back in the pot and set it back on the fire. And then you just go ahead and rinse your beans to rinse out some of the chemicals and impurities in the beans. Guys, trust me, if you know the type of chemicals these people use to preserve beans, you would not want to miss this step. Do you ever wonder why sometimes you eat beans and maybe you get diarrhea from it, or you get unnecessary tummy reactions? Just try parboiling your beans. I bet you it's going to make a big difference. So guys, before we start cooking the beans proper the second time, we're going to add some seasoning cubes into the water. Just seasoning cubes, guys. Add some seasoning cubes before you pour in your beans and begin to cook it properly. And this time you should mind the amount of water that you put in the beans, because the goal here is to cook the beans until the water dries up. So if you're using a stove or a gas, you might want to keep your eye on the beans and turn your heat to medium or low. Yeah, so the beans doesn't get burnt. And don't put a lot of water. You can add water bit by bit until the beans is done. because we need the beans to be done and the water dried up as well. Guys, let's check on the beans. So it's been cooking for a while now, and yeah, I was just checking to see if it was done. If yours is done, you just have to wait for the water to dry up. But if the beans isn't done yet, you can add more water to it and just continue cooking. So yeah, like I said earlier, we're going to have to cook this until the water is completely dried up. My people, we have gotten to an interesting part of this recipe. Our beans is done now and the water has dried up, and we're just going to go ahead and fry the sauce that we would use to mix the beans. Yes. And before we go into that, I just want to remind you, in case you're still watching this video and you're enjoying what you're seeing but you haven't yet subscribed or liked it, please and please like this video and subscribe to our channel. This will help us and encourage us to bring more amazing recipes your way. So that said, let's go ahead and complete this beautiful meal. So first of all, set a dry pot on fire and go ahead and add the palm oil, the salt, onion, and just keep frying that mixture. And then you can just add in the scotch bonnet pepper and the habanero peppers, and also add your crayfish, and then just fry that for a few minutes, let's say for about 7 minutes or so. And then yes, after frying it, you just go ahead and pour in our beans and mix them thoroughly together. So now we're just preparing the plantain, or in this case banana, that we're going to use to go alongside the beans. Please guys, if you're in Nigeria or if you find yourself in a place where you can access plantains, please, the original recipe is with plantain. It is because there is no plantain in China, that is why I use bananas instead, and I just fry them and they turn out pretty much just like plantains, only they are a little bit soggy. Did I say a little bit? They are a lot soggy. And it has nothing to do with the bananas being too ripe or anything. However, if you're going to use bananas, you need to keep in mind to preferably use a strong banana, like banana that is not yet very ripe, because the bananas are still going to end up very soggy. So let's help the life of the bananas more. After cutting, you sprinkle a little bit of salt on it and get ready to fry it. So guys, to start frying the plantain or banana, as the case may be, you just set a saucepan on fire and add in some vegetable oil, just enough to fry the plantains or bananas. Set it on fire, and yes, here I'm adding my oil, and just go ahead. You give it a little bit of time, like allow the oil to get a little bit hot, not too hot, just reasonably hot, yeah, to make sure the bananas or plantain doesn't soak a lot of oil, and to also make sure it doesn't get burnt without actually getting done. So yeah, just check for the heat of the oil, and when you think it's hot enough, just go ahead and start tossing in your plantain. And guys, make sure to regulate the stove or the electric cooker you're using. Know when to increase it and know when to decrease the heat. So yeah, we're just throwing that in the oil, and we're going to fry them till they are golden brown. Being in a foreign country will make you come up with tricks and hacks. A lot of improvisations. Guys, please, if you have ever fried bananas in place of plantains, do let me know in the comment section what it turned out like. Like, what was your experience? Would you recommend it? I think mine turned out okay. I mean, it turned out pretty okay. So yeah, you guys just try it out and let me know what your thoughts are. The final results, guys. Please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.